After A is B, after C is D, and it's said that, hey Ben, take off the hat.
In Mattawan Consolidated Schools, there are many issues that can be chosen to fix. The parking lots, the sport fields, stairwells, but what about the hat hood code? Is it true some hats can be distracting, but isn't this rule a little old? Christian Bolt and I, Payton Walker, are going to show and describe that maybe hats in school might not be such a bad thing. The rules in Mattawan are that any hat must be taken off before entering the building. This, along with the thought of respect, is for safety precaution measures. Many teachers say that students wear hoods to hide and disguise themselves, and that they might use it to their advantage to steal or hurt someone. We interviewed Mr. Eastman to explain why hats are a danger to the school.
Kind of approach it from a couple different angles. Depending on the city that you live in, gang violence really is an issue. We probably don't see that as much here in Mattawan, but in Kalamazoo even, so if you just go down the road 6 miles, you see some gang-related things in Kalamazoo. You certainly see it in Chicago and Detroit. We're kind of on that pipeline or that road, with I-94 going from Chicago to Detroit. So there are some gang influences. Back in the early 90s, gang issues were really coming to a head in Kalamazoo. And so I know for me personally, being a teacher at that time, that was a big issue in the schools. And so we were always on the lookout for gang-related items, how students were acting, dressing, and things like that. The majority of kids are not in a gang, but the issue with it is that for those who are not in a gang, who dress like they are in a gang, that really does put them in danger, because those who are truly members of a gang will go after you.
As Mr. Eastman said, you could be seen as in a gang or even hurt. Without proper precautions, hats can be an issue in the school, but we believe through a new set of rules we would be able to fix this issue. Hats can potentially be distracting. Mr. Eastman showed us that they can cover the face of people and the teachers won't know what they are doing, if they are awake and if they are paying attention. Mr. Eastman tells us how they can be a distraction to teaching and learning in the classroom.
The other reason, a little bit more practical, truly, is for teachers. They just want to see your face. They want to be able to recognize you, know who you are, see your face, see your expressions and reactions, because that's part of the teaching process, trying to gauge your reactions and how you respond to different questions and topics and things like that.
To allow hats, we have to change our rules to our new and improved hat rules. Number 1, hats cannot cover your face. Number 2, they cannot have any reference to a gang. Number 3, if asked to remove, you must. Number 4, must not draw class focus. If students follow these 4 simple rules, hats and hoods could be allowed if we could let go of the old-fashioned rules.
You're looking at a rule that has been around for a long time, and so I know people will say, well, just because we've always done it, why do we still do it? And it is kind of a throwback. Some would say it's archaic, it's old-fashioned, it's something that only older people really appreciate, and I understand that, but we're still in an age where in most businesses, in most scenarios and situations, you're not wearing a hat. So unless you're in a specific trade where that's the case, most professions you're not wearing a hat. And so for schools, we try to recreate that. We essentially say that you are in an environment where, in this case, you don't wear a hat. It's just kind of the way it is. So it seems archaic, but it's just kind of a blanket rule that we use as part of the dress code.
In modern-day America, there are few reasons that hats should not be allowed in school. We believe if you follow our 4 easy steps, you should be able to wear any hat you want.